I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, Volume 160. We are the spinoff of the web series The Two Dicks, which is found on YouTube. Just check it out, The Two Dicks, Detectives from 1954. I'm Al Romas. I am in Tampa Bay, Florida. That is Al Ducharme, currently on the Harmony of the Seas, docked in St. Kitts. How goes it, Alfredo?
It's going well, man. We have 4,500 passengers, and I believe the capacity is 6,800, and is like normally pre-COVID 10,000 people on board this baby, but right now I think we're hovering around, including crew, I don't know, like 7,000, which is a lot.
It's a lot of people.
It's the most people that have sailed on a cruise ship since the lockdown. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And you're in the comedy club. You're in the, not in the theater. You're performing in the comedy club, which I think just reopened very recently, because last time I was on, the comedy clubs were closed. So you're one of the first back in the comedy room. What is that? Is it full capacity? Are they sitting next to each other? Are they?
I think the capacity is 250, 260. And they capped it off at 140. You do not have to wear a mask, but you have to be fully vaccinated. So
right,
that's the rule. I'm not quite sure. I think you wave your CPAS card, and your picture comes up.
Wristband.
So there are wristbands, but I don't know how that works. Like at this purple one right here. Yeah. Am I supposed to have this on saying that I'm vaccinated?
Generally, yes. During the day, yeah, sure.
Oh. Okay. Well,
not for the pod, but you should have that on while you're wandering the ship.
Well, this isn't a wristband, by the way. I've been wearing it elsewhere. Well,
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Check out
cock
the
ring.
It's cock ring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but how about that? I am. I'm alone.
Okay.
Anyways, happy Thanksgiving. Now, I wanted to fool the people and make it sound like we had just eaten our Thanksgiving meal, but you're like, I'm not doing that. No, that's bullshit. So
I like it to be organic, the show, not pre-planned, and I don't like that. I like to go with it realistically, and if that things come up, we deal with it. But to have a setup, and then you were like, and I'll do this, and you'll do this. I'm like,
no, bullet points. And I said, do you want me to do it? It can still, if I mention a gag. We're not rehearsing it. I said, let's do a gag like this, and then we'll just improvise it. And you're like, no, I don't like planned shit. He says to me, he goes, I don't like planned shit.
The worst impression ever.
What do you have today? What are we going to talk about today?
Well, I have material, sir.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's being planned. That's planning.
No, but I have things I want to discuss.
I know what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you the lead question, because it's taken over the internet. It's gone viral. It's insane. People are talking about it. You're selling out shows.
Video.
You're selling out shows.
Had there been video, it would have been viral. And Eric, the owner of the club, was the next day. He was like, "Dude, we could have been making money on TikTok."
He didn't record the show.
Did not record the show.
Did anybody in the audience? Can you ask?
Nope. Doesn't seem like. Well, no one recorded, because this moment that we're going to talk about was later in the show. So somebody would have been holding the camera for the whole show. It just wasn't. It wasn't done. There were pictures. There are pictures. Plenty of pictures of.
Let me set it up. Let me set it up before we lose another listener. First of all, before we get into it, have you seen our new space that we have here? This is our downtown New York City space. We have
it's nice.
We have spaces in all major cities: Shanghai, Los Angeles, Chicago,
Rangoon.
We're huge there.
We're still keeping our 2 listeners in Rangoon. We're holding on to them.
We sure are.
They're staying with us. Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us, Rangoon.
Exactly.
But Al and Al had, I went to say had and Al at the same time, and it came out Hal. Yes, Dave.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Al had a incident. An incident? He had.
I wouldn't call it an incident.
It was an incident.
No.
There's something happened at one of his shows that took the show from a regular comedy club, which he's very good at executing, to this next level of craziness, euphoria. I don't know how you want to explain it, but I'm going to let him tell you the whole story. It happened at Vasani's in Punta Gorda, Florida. Is that correct?
Port Charlotte.
Charlotte. God damn it. I never get these cities and towns right.
Right next to Punta Gorda, right over the bridge. And we had good turnout with Bobby. I forget Bobby's last name. I can never pronounce it, but he's a Patreon member. He and his lovely wife, Linda, and another couple drove down from Naples to see me. They had heard, we're going to be there. Patreon member. Thank you, Bobby. And my girlfriend, Kelly, came. She's a Patreon member. First show she ever saw. This one we're talking about. This is the very first show she's ever seen of me performing live. And our other friend, Tom from New England, and his wife,
Tom.
He came out on Wednesday night, and then he came back again. With another couple. He brought another couple on Saturday night.
Wow.
And Dr. Joe Ravid, Doug Tucker, and Joe Tarja and their wives all came out on Saturday night, 6 p.m.
That would be Linda. Joe's wife is Linda.
No, I'm sorry. Friday night. This was the Friday night show. Friday night. But yeah, Linda, Joe's wife. And then I did a private for Joe on Friday afternoon. His company, about 35 people. And they had a luncheon. And it was weird. I sat and had lunch with Joe and another couple of guys. And I was sitting in the comedy club, like at a table. Like, it was just a weird feeling.
Weird. That is a weird feeling.
You've done that where then you get up and do a show. It's kind of weird. Like to sit. It is kind of weird. And then
it's like
okay.
It's like sitting in a room and watching your friend get a massage, and then you're next.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
I've never had a massage. I don't.
You don't.
I've never had a massage. No.
Your girlfriend doesn't massage you?
Well, she can, but I'm saying a professional massage. I've never had a professional massage. I feel weird about that. I feel like it's a mental thing. Like I don't deserve. Someone shouldn't be working, and I feel guilty if I lay there and they're working. You know what I mean? I feel like, what the fuck? Who am I? What am I, the king of England here? I shouldn't be getting a massage from you. I feel there's a thing. I'm mental. There's a mental issue with me.
I've had many massages, and I will say that my first one or even two, I was in that situation, but the benefit outweighs any of that stuff. And now I look forward to a massage.
Well, I've heard they're fantastic, and my
you're also homophobic, so if you can't get,
I am.
Yeah, if you see,
I might be part of
it. Here's my favorite massages: the little like Thai girl who's got all the pressure points, or
with high heels.
No, Asian women that really are doing a massage know how to do it, and also the big Bosnian fellow or the Russian guy.
That's not gonna ever happen.
Do you want medium or hard?
Nope.
I'm like, oh my god! I've done the Turkish.
You're laying there naked, and a man is doing this shit.
I have a towel covering my stuff.
God, could never. I could never.
With the girls, I usually wear boxer shorts,
bikini briefs. Maybe a bikini brief.
See this. You were there. You were sitting in my massage room. I had my head covered. I could hear you. Right. You're like, oh, geez. God, I can't do this.
So
back to your show. Back to your show.
Yeah. Well, so a nice turnout of people. No Deborah Swick. We hope Deborah Swick is okay.
Deb Swick.
I didn't hear from her. Didn't see Deborah Swick. First time in 9 years. Going to Visani and no Deborah Swick. So we go and haven't heard from her. So I hope she's okay. And she's still a Patreon member. I know that.
She's a Patreon member and one of our first big followers, supporters.
Yeah. So
she
maybe
purchased,
out of town.
She purchased a T-shirt similar to the one you have on to support us.
I know. So I was surprised. But so anyway, very nice turnout of people. It was great seeing everybody. And so the Friday night show pretty much sold out. It's full. That room is full. And MC goes up Does okay, not great. And the middle act goes up, not great, I'll be honest. And when you're in the back and you're just like watching, and the crowd's probably going to be good. They all came out, but there's nothing really happening yet. Mm-hmm. It's kind of quiet in there. Mm-hmm. And the show's been on now 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. And Joe and the guys are there. My girlfriend's in the back. We're all, it's like, you want to, as the headline, you're like, oh, I got to get up there. I got to fucking rock this thing. It's almost like sometimes you can try too hard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I got to get up there and fucking rock this thing instead of just going up and being natural. And so
the audience is a little tighter than you want them to be. You didn't get the full warm up. So then you go, okay, now the headliner is going to spend the first 10 minutes warming up the crowd.
Right. I wouldn't say it was a hole, but I to dig out of but they just didn't do anything. It was like the middle act was one of these guys. He's a nice guy, and he just
clear.
A lot of talking, but no laughter. Just kind of, he's just talking about his life, and it's like one of those guys who thinks everything's interesting, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's the style now. To talk about your life, and when some of the big people hit, everybody emulates them and tries to do the same thing, and it's
those big people are funny.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Difference.
Anybody can get up there and talk about their life, but to make it funny, that's a different caliber. That's another level. Yeah. That's the talent.
Mm-hmm. That's the talent. So I got up there, and I'm like, a couple of things, bing, 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 and then after about 5 or 10 minutes, going okay, and they're laughing, and there's a guy up front, right up front table with his group of 6, and he's staring at the wall. He's not looking at me. He's looking like at his, say, wife, but looking past her and looking at the wall. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking down, going, in my head going, what's this fucker doing, man? Turn around, look at me. So that's how I am on stage anyway. So then
it's that dead energy.
Moment I go,
there's that dead energy, someone just sucking it. And the comedian's going to focus on that. Whereas the audience is looking at you. Yeah.
And they're not comedians, the other 2 guys, so they don't even mention it. They're like, it didn't affect them.
They're on the script, and they got the blinders on, and they're just trying to get to the finish line. Another amateur move.
Exactly. And I'm talking right up front. He could touch the stage. You know what I mean? That close. So at one point, maybe 10 minutes in, I said, hey, I go, whatever. The show's up here. Let's go. Turn around, buddy. I'm up here. Stop. What are you fucking staring at the wall for? Let's, And then his wife, not wife, he didn't have a wife. A guy goes, hey, he's blind. So, which is great. And then I repeat it so the audience, because a lot of times comics don't repeat it. In the back of the room can't hear what happened. That's a big mistake.
He's blind.
I go, he's blind. And the crowd starts laughing, and also kind of a ooh, like, like I'm in trouble. I'm not going to get through this, So I go, he's blind. Then I'm like, well, what the fuck, dude? Where are the sunglasses? Because he's wearing regular glasses. The blind guy's regular glasses, but that's not fair. So I go, where are the sunglasses? And then I'm like, where's the dog?
What the hell?
Something. I can't tell. How do I know you're blind? It's not my fault.
What kind of blind person are you trying to assimilate with all the sight people?
Exactly. And then they're laughing, the crowd. And then I go, it was the one I like better. I go, what the fuck you doing in the front row? There's a guy in the back who can see. Switch seats with him. You're wasting a good.
You went from broke. You just said, I'm embracing it. I'm going.
And the crowd was, and because you could tell, like, and he's handicapped, but who gives a shit? Everyone's, everyone's equal. I got to shit on this guy. So the crowd now is like loving this shit, and it's going great. And I got the blind guy now. He's up front.
And he's laughing.
Shit. So it's great.
He's laughing.
Oh,
blind
guy's cracking up, clapping. Mm-hmm. Just like he's into it.
He's clapping to the wall. So, but
he still didn't turn around, but so that was great. The crowd's into it. Now go to another 20 minutes or so, all good, blah, 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 blah. Then I do a joke where I mention Paul McCartney's ex-wife who had one leg. She had one leg. And I say, basically, that's like the perfect wife because she's beautiful and one leg leaves a lot of room in the bed. So you have to worry about another leg. It's nice. McCartney's so smart, damn you. And but when I say that about the Paul McCartney's ex-wife, the crowd always goes, ooh, like, that's, I'm making fun of somebody with one leg. Okay,
right.
Meanwhile, and then I go, what, too soon? Too soon? Like joking around.
Right.
His friend then goes, he has one leg. And I go, what? The blind guy has one leg? What, are we kidding? So then as I'm going, what? The guy takes off, he pops off his prosthetic. And literally he's holding it, just kind of showing it to me only. The crowd can't see, but they're laughing. And then I reach down and I go, you have one leg? I take the prosthetic.
You pulled his leg.
And I pulled his leg, exactly. And I hold it above my head. And as I hold it above my head, dude, and you know me, I don't say, the fucking roof is coming off the place. The walls are shaking. The whole kitchen staff runs out from the kitchen. They don't know what's happening. I'm looking down the hallway. They're all standing there. All these cooks with knives and shit and fucking aprons. They're all standing in the hall.
They're not even putting their knives down. They're like in the middle of cutting and they run out.
Yeah. But it was like, boom. Eric, the owner's in his office. He comes running out. He said the walls were shaking in his office. He didn't know what the fuck was happening. He comes running out. I'm standing on stage with a prosthetic leg above my head. And it's got the leg and the sneaker.
I know. And people were snapping pictures.
There's a lot of pictures being snapped.
Taking pictures on their phones and uploading them. And all of a sudden it's on social media. Dr. Joe posted it. And he gave a little synopsis of what was happening. And here's you holding a blind guy's leg, fake leg. And I'm like, and he doesn't get canceled. Yeah. I think you got a raise and 2 more bookings.
I got a raise. It was it was the wildest scene I've ever, in all my years of comedy. I could say that was the wildest, loudest reaction to anything. It was so loud and crazy that I'm holding it above my head. So I do a few jokes. I don't know, like I want to thank the Dasanis for this award and all these things. But in the and in the back of my head,
you fucking milked. You say, how do I follow this?
How do I follow this? That was it. Back in my brain going, dude, you got another 15 minutes still. I got to follow this shit. This is impossible.
Call back waiting, pal.
Yeah. I get through it and the crowd is still, people are like wiping their eyes, crying, there's gasping. It's like people can't breathe. This is how insane this moment. And I go on into it then, and I never realized how many times I mentioned legs in my act. Then I go into a whole bit about restless legs.
Restless legs bit. I
restless
know the bit.
Legs. And I call back that fucker.
Of course.
Who's never had a problem.
Call back waiting, legs. Baby. Woo.
And that gets and
so now this guy is touring with you, right?
Well, this is it. Yeah, but I'll keep looking at him. He's fucking loving, he's pumping the air. Dr. Joe is like bent over laughing. Doug punching a wall, laughing so hard he can't take it. That's the kind of laughter and craziness it was.
It was like 1994.
Yeah, I get off stage and everyone, like the staff, the waitress dropped her tray while I was on during that whole thing. She's like, you got to give us warning. I had no idea. I dropped my tray. I'm like, warning? I had no fucking idea. And everybody's just dying of laughter. Pictures are being texted to me of it already. Like the minute you get off stage, I'm getting texts. And then Eric was just like, right away, he was like, shit. He goes, we don't have that on film. We don't have that. And it's one of those moments, it's just gone.
Yeah.
If you were there, you experienced it. And if you did, even the story, I've told it now 100 times, but it loses it.
It's a moment in time.
It was
pre-social media and cell phone cameras. It was that type of thing.
Yeah.
Even though you received some pictures, texts, but the moment itself, because it wasn't captured and went viral.
Right.
It's like people taking pictures when they go on, when they go to Europe or something. People like, stop looking at your
doesn't do it
phone.
justice.
Put it away, take it all in, and then go back.
Yeah.
But in the moment,
it's one of and it's one of those things where people in the audience will be talking about it. That's just one of those things where if someone mentioned a comedy show, they're going to say, well, we saw this show at Bassani's. It was unreal. And
what was that comedian's name?
Right, they never exactly.
The comedian, I forgot his name, but he pulled the guy's leg off and started beating him with it. See, the story changes because of the hyperbole of the folk tale. Yeah.
And then after the show, people were saying, we enjoyed it so much. Asking me, was he a plant? Did you bring him with you? Yes.
But now you're paying him. You're paying
a blind man.
Yeah, with one leg.
Yes.
And you are paying him $50,000 a year, right? Because you will quadruple your income and you can write him off.
I would happily, if I could get that night, I would happily tour, but with him, no problem at all. And his family has now tweeted or on Facebook talking about it was big highlight of his life. And he didn't want to sit in the front row. It was his first time at a comedy show, but he had such a great time. And, because I kept looking down at him, I don't want to
sit in the front row. I don't want the comedians to pick on me.
Yes,
you're gonna be fine. No, the most comics don't do that. They're not going to call you out.
No.
Hey, buddy,
his name was
up here.
His name was Lee, and I thought they said his name was Reed. So the whole show, I'm calling him Reed, and his name is Lee.
There's more toppings. You get the cherry, the nuts, the whipped cream on that one. Wow.
It was, and then the next day we saw Eric again. He was giving out free turkeys, which was nice. And and then he's like, dude, we could have he goes, we could be splitting the money right now. So much could have been made on TikTok that moment. Because if you had that 1 minute really of getting the leg, raising it up, and then that craziness sound.
Did you say, let me, were you able to say, I'd like to thank Bassani's for this award? Did you say it immediately following that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
That would
and you know what, though?
Been gorgeous.
In that moment too, though, you could almost say anything when they were, and the initial moment, I had to hold it for about a minute. I couldn't say anything. It was too loud. You wouldn't even hear me with the microphone. That's how it was. Insanity. And it was great. And then after the show, Joe had us back to his house, Joe's Pleasure Palace on the water there.
Oh, you got to see that one.
Oh yeah. And then and then I was just so happy that not only Kelly, my girlfriend, was there, but these guys who've seen me 7-8 times got to experience this kind of a thing where it was just like, that's all we talked. They were just like, dude, what the fuck? That was insane. It was so fucking funny.
So your girlfriend is there for the very first time, as you mentioned at the top of the story. So now she's like, back off, mofos. He's mine.
Well, she's off. Also,
beat it, ladies.
Also like, you really don't have to come to any more shows. That was it.
That was it.
That's it.
So basically savor that moment because it's all downhill from here. That's it.
Pretty much. Yes. Yeah,
it's so funny. We've been doing this for decades, and we always think we've seen it all. It's
right.
I've had my best show was back in 2007. It was unbelievable. It was 10,000 people. I was opening up for whoever, David Bowie, whatever. You're like, this is unbelievable. And then you have a show like this. It's like, this is the best moment in my comedy career, right there.
I've had some good ones, but not like that. That was a different thing, different noise, organic. Different sound, all organic. And what I was happy with is I could have missed it all had I not, talked to the guy. If I just been like the other two guys, meanwhile, the guy's blind, he's sitting there and he's a good sport, but I would have missed all that and just had like a normal show. It'd be nice and who cares? And then, luckily I was like, you know what? I want to not pick on the guy, but what the fuck? And I'll be honest, I didn't know he was blind. He's wearing regular glasses. I thought he was just didn't want to turn around and look at me. So that's why I was going to give him shit about. And then to turn out to be blind and then missing a leg and then handing me the leg and me getting to hold the leg. I mean, the whole thing was just insane.
Very close to Thanksgiving. Very close to Thanksgiving. What do you like? You want the breast meat? No, I'll take the leg.
Oh, I'm a leg man from now on, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. And
Wow.
and I was thankful, believe me, very thankful for him sitting there that night and for it all and being a good sport. Because again, if he was like bummed out, if I said he was blind and or they told me that I had said something, if he was bummed out, I wouldn't have continued talking to him at all. I would have bailed. And then the leg thing, he probably wouldn't have handed me the leg, you know, had he not been up for fun, a good sport. And
well, once someone hands you their fake leg, all bets are off. It's like they're saying, "Here's the key to the city. Go for it."
Yeah. And he wasn't really. He was showing it to me, just at like table level.
And you snatched it. Be honest.
I snatched the leg. I did. I had to. Yes. I go. Are you kidding? What the hell? And hey,
beautiful.
And the blind guy's got one leg, you know, and.
I knew something was up when Dr. Joe posted it on Facebook, and I'm like, "This is gonna go on Instagram. Get this on Instagram."
Yeah, and then we were looking around for any video. No one's, doesn't seem to be any vid. Because again, you would have to film the whole show.
Well, the first thing to tell you is no filming your shows.
Right, and the club, some clubs will film every show. That's why
they usually have it on automatic.
Is there a film? Right, and he's like, nope. We don't have it. I'm like, shit. Oh my god. So no, doesn't exist.
Unrelated. I did one of those college conferences. It's called NACA, National Association of Campus Activities.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had done a few of them, and I'm having one of those sets where it's like nothing can go wrong. It's all going right. I'm hitting every note. I'm waiting, and I have 20 minutes. But I'm doing like 12 minutes of material because I'm waiting for the laughter to die down, the applause. They're going bananas. It's just everything was just perfect. And they're recording the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited to get this because I'm going to submit this to these conferences to get more work. It's like a layup because I'm going to be doing I'll be doing colleges for the next 10 years without auditioning, without showcasing. I'm just going to send this in. I go, can I get my copy? We're so sorry. We accidentally recorded over it. Horrible. Horrible.
What do you mean recorded over it?
They said we lost it. We deleted it, recorded over it. Something.
Well, I don't know if this happened then, Alfred. Is there any proof of this story of you killing like that? Because I have.
You have a still. Let's be honest. You have a still.
I have witnesses.
Well,
I can call up witnesses. They were there. Is there anyone who saw your show?
Yes, there was. There was 600 students, and a couple of comedians.
Do you know any names? Do we have a name of any students?
Elon Gold.
Elon Gold. Does he remember this moment? Let's get him up.
He was very upset.
Call him.
He was very upset because he was hosting, and it wasn't going his way, and he was miserable backstage. So he was very happy that I lost my set of my life captured on video.
Yeah.
I think it was pre SD cards.
Oh, okay. Reminds me of that old joke. What was that? Remember the joke with what's the 10 Commandments? Who was the director of that? What was his name? Director of the 10 Commandments. Big
These
time old
10 Commandments. Or is that the one?
Old school director. What was his name?
Mel Brooks.
No.
Mel Brooks?
No, not Mel Brooks.
I thought
the 10 Commandments. Charlton Heston.
Oh, the real movie. I thought you were talking about the comedy. I have these 15 commandments, and he drops one of the tablets and it smashes. He goes, 10 Commandments. No, that was Mel Brooks.
No, I'm talking about
History of the World. I thought. No, stop. I thought you were talking about the comedy History of the World with Mel Brooks. You were talking about the actual Charlton Heston movie,
Lord.
The 10 Commandments. Go
Help
ahead.
me.
Take over.
I'm saying, who was the director of that? Cecil
D. DeMille.
B.
Cecil
B. DeMille. Right.
B. DeMille.
Cecil
Reed
B. DeMille.
Lee.
So
Cecil Reed DeMille.
Lee DeMille.
Reed. You called that. You called the guy with one leg Reed.
Right. I know. So I'm saying Cecil Lee DeMille, his real name.
Yeah.
But anyway, Cecil B. DeMille or Lee, whatever, they're going to part the Red Sea. It's the biggest scene of the movie. They're about to part the Red Sea. He does all the setup. It's 100, hours of setup. They have the water, the horses run through it, the carriages. He goes, camera one, you got it? And he goes, no, we're yes, we look good. We look good, Cease. And he's like, all right, ready. Camera two, are you ready? We're going to over here. You ready? And he goes, we're ready. We're all set. And then he goes, action. And all the horses and everything. And then the main camera that's going to get the whole goddamn thing. He's thrilled. He goes, camera three at the end of it. And the cameraman goes, ready when you are, Cease.
Yes.
That was a long way to go for that.
I know.
That one.
Now that was that shot in the 60s?
It was I don't know, maybe 60s. Let's go 60s.
Early
Heston,
60s,
the old Brenner, and what was the other guy? Who's the old gangster? Played the remember? God damn it.
James Cagney?
I remember Billy Crystal had that joke. He would do that impression of him. It's like, where's your Moses now?
Oh, him.
Where's your Moses now?
G, what was it? He had letters in his name.
G.
Gordon Litt. No, that was.
It wasn't G. Gordon Liddy.
No, that was the guy. It
was a Watergate guy.
That was a Watergate guy.
What
was it?
G. Gordon Liddy.
There was a letter in his name. Come on.
You're right.
All right, right. Yeah. All right, you there?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had that voice as one of the Israeli. Where's your Moses now? Where's your Moses?
Where is your horrible casting? They were just taking big names of people that were on their way out.
All those movies did, like, the Poseidon Adventure and the Towering Inferno. It was like, you look at the cast and you go, Earthquake. Lorne Greene was in there. He was the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And they had one of those old actresses from the 40s as his daughter. She was older than Lorne Greene, for God's sake. Ava Gardner played Lorne Greene's daughter in Earthquake.
Because Lorne looked so old with his white hair, and she had dyed black hair.
And she didn't want to be cast as a wife or mother, or so she's like, I'll be his daughter. Like, you're 80, for God's sake. But what was that guy's name? It's going to bug me now. He had a cigar. He was a cigar smoker on screen.
Yeah, you see?
G. Yeah. Where's your Moses now? Hey?
Well, if you know the answer to this, mention it in the comments below, because it's killing Al. And sometimes when these little episodes get dragged out with our memory, I have to go in and edit. Otherwise, it's just too elongated. So he
for the
he
Patreon
makes my day longer.
People, if you want to join patreon.com/the two dicks, $5 a month, and we'll put some pictures in there of the leg holding the thing, so you kind of get an idea if you're not on Facebook or Instagram following Alfred or I. You want to see what this whole thing looked like if you're listening to that story. Patreon.com/the two dicks.
A Starbucks cappuccino. A Starbucks cappuccino once a month is what it would cost you.
Yeah, free. And look at the content we give you, fuckers. Look at where we are right now. We have a beautiful set here. I'm in Tampa. He's in St. Kitts, and yet we're sitting next to each other in a sterile loft.
It's very sterile.
East Village.
Very sterile and sterilized.
As we're talking, I'm just killing time because I'm trying to think of his name. Are you looking him up, Alfred? I see you doing some good. Thank you. Thank you. G, and then don't tell me the name right away. Give me I want a clue or two. I want to try to guess this.
I'm going to give you
a clue. I like a clue. G, because that G, but I think it's throwing me off. I don't know if there's a G.
Maybe it's not a G.
I think I got it. I got it. The G is in the middle.
Yeah.
Edward G. Robinson.
Son of a bitch.
Woo. Nice.
There was a G in there, baby.
Done. There was a G.
We found the G spot.
Finally.
Wow.
It's only taken 50 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Bernie are still working on that one.
How's that going, by the way? How's the marriage? Everything good?
Well, we're back to the part-time marriage because I'm starting to travel again. And
you were home briefly. You did. I was talking to you. You went home. You had some sort of a date night. Probably I'll ton of fucking sex, and then the next day you went and did a gig together. Is that how that happened?
We didn't have a ton of sex. I would say we had about 30 pounds of sex.
30 pounds.
I don't know. Ton. I was doing a weight joke.
Oh, wow. I didn't even get that. I didn't even get it.
My jokes are like that. There's like,
yeah.
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
And then, oh, that is a joke.
Yeah. Your shows, people leave and go, that was funny. Was it funny? It was funny, right? Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Next time I see a paraplegic, I'm fucking yanking them up on stage.
You take that leg. Just take the leg. And make sure they're blind if they're
I'm going to body slam them. I'm going all the way. I got to top the leg.
See, a younger comic, I think, would have panicked because they would have been like afraid of the woke culture and
those younger comics that were on stage prior to you saw that guy, recognized that he was blind, and were like, I got to stay away from this. And
they can't even say blind. People won't even say blind anymore.
Yep.
I fucking said it 8,000 times. I'm, goddamn right. He's blind. That's funny. I don't care.
What is it? Sight impaired? What is it? What are they saying it is?
I don't sight. Sight impaired. No, not sight impaired. Sight challenged. I think they're visually challenged or sight challenged. Challenged.
Tom Cotter said people have height challenge. Is that what it is? I don't know.
I remember that.
He, she, them, her, him.
I saw a clip of Cotter recently. It's probably an older clip. I don't know, where he was taking the "Baby It's Cold Outside" song, and then
he was doing a rant.
Oh my god, was that funny?
It was good. It was good.
Holy god!
We bring up Cotter's name like every 3 or 4 episodes.
He's a funny man, and that bit killed me. I saw that and I was just like, that is.
But really there was passion behind that. That wasn't.
Oh,
he was like he was really upset. Yeah, with the political correctness.
It was very funny though. Yep. But that's the thing. I think you can't be afraid when you're doing comedy where, the guy's blind. I'm not going to say he's blind. Oh, the guy's showing me his leg. I'm not going to touch it. Then miss out on being funny.
Hey, dude.
Because that's the whole idea. We're trying to be funny.
This horse is dead. Can we talk about something else?
Go ahead. What do you got? You got 30 pounds of sex you want to talk about?
I got 30 pounds of sex.
30 pounds over your sex. Head. Bring it. How was the gig you did with you and Bertie? Tell us a little your gig, blowing the roof off that place.
It was an RV resort.
Yuck.
And so we get there going, what's this white trash thing? And we get there. It's a high-end RV resort. Like everybody's got the $150,000 RV. And
Airstream.
Yeah. And they're all like, it's in this community, gated. Like it looks like you're going into Brentwood. And then they had this really nice clubhouse, and it had indoor function and outdoor. We did it all outdoors, and they had heat lamps. And
California's still doing comedy outdoors.
They could have easily done it indoors, but they did it. It's Southern California, and November, and at night it's 70 degrees. But they had
comedy outdoors sucks. It sucks.
No, it was great.
Yes,
you've never did any outdoor. You never did any outdoor pie. No. You never did any outdoor shows.
I've done. Yes, I have.
Pre-COVID.
No, not pre-COVID.
Never.
No, never.
Oh, I've done hundreds of them over the years.
Daddy works indoors. Not outside. Yeah.
Is that what your girlfriend calls you?
That's right. Yes. I work indoors. Not who does comedy outdoors?
Well, first of all,
come on.
The way the building is designed, we had three-quarter enclosure, and then behind us,
horrible.
There was a
pool.
Books
these
it was
gigs?
gorgeous.
Where are you finding these
palm
gigs?
Trees?
Where are you finding these?
I get these bookers call me, and they
see these pictures you post. Come on.
The crowds were fucking great. They were great. We didn't have any fake legs, but crowd was great.
You want to hear my story about a great crowd?
No. Yeah, here I am. You tell me the story, and then you ask me about mine. I do, and you fucking outdoor day. It fucking sucks. Yeah, blah. Yeah, fucking outdoors.
Well, your shows are outdoors.
During COVID, we did outdoor shows because of COVID. This was something that they would do this outdoors anyways.
Without me, I'm not being booked outdoors. Fuck it. Indoors. You're a comic. You work inside. How was the money? Good?
You can't discount my performing. You can't do that.
I get a discount whenever I see you perform. I'll tell you that much.
Like
50%.
You got to remember, I have control over this. Like right now, I could put a penis right next to your head if I wanted to.
I would hope you would.
That's for our Patreon members.
That's right.
And if you'd like to become a Patreon member for only $5 a month, as little as $5 a month, you can actually pay more, and you'll get a lot more. But just being a Patreon member, you'll receive one of these beautiful coffee mugs. Hold it up, Al.
I don't have one with me, but here's a paper cup. Here's a paper cup from Dunkin' Donuts.
Or you can get a T-shirt.
I got a T-shirt on.
For $10 a month.
Look at that.
You get a 2 Dicks T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I think you get a coaster if you're $5 a month. Too.
You get a coaster. You get a coaster. They're good quality. They have a car. They have a car. What do you call it?
Cork.
What do you call that? Cork backing.
Edward G. Robinson backing.
Edward G. Where's your Moses now? I'm picking up a bottle of Perrier here and going to enjoy it. Pre-Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Big meal. You're going to be on the ship for the Thanksgiving meal. Are you going to go Thanksgiving? Are you going to have the whole thing? Or are you going to go, I'm on a ship. Fuck it. Just get a piece of pizza.
I'm going to go with some of the fellow entertainers. I'm going to go with the singer, Finesse
Henderson.
Finest Henderson, and probably Scott Henry. And I think there's one other person. And we're going to do some turkey stuff. We're going to have a proper dinner in the dining room. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. And do you have shows Thanksgiving night?
Yes.
You have shows? Oh, you do.
Do we have shows?
Yeah, the Comedy Club. Comedy Club has shows. Are you doing every night in the like the old days? 2 shows a night, every night?
6 nights. And we're doing the theater. Nights. We're doing 2 shows in the theater.
Little family comedy?
A family in the late afternoon, early evening, and then we're doing an adult show. But we are doing 2 shows tomorrow night, and I'm not happy about that. Because
that's the Comedy Club.
3 weeks ago, they were doing what? 3 shows? In the theater, 4 shows.
Yeah, but you're making the big money. You're making the big money this week.
Comedy Club money. You weren't making the big money back then?
Well, no, I'm saying the Comedy Club pays more. Than the regular. Yeah. So you're making the big dough, and that's why you got to work every night. I'm going on Adventure of the Seas next week, and that's back. Be like a welcome show and a late show.
I heard they had a shrine. They have a shrine on board for you.
Really? Do they?
Yeah. Didn't you spend 5.5 months there?
5.5 months on the Adventure of the Sea. Yes, I did. I did.
3 weeks in. Al, how's it going? I'm losing my mind.
Oh. I got through it like a fucking champion. How dare you?
He's like, I could do this. I told him, I talked to my agent. I said, I can handle this. Why not? After the pandemic lockdown, this is a lifeline. It's a breath of fresh air. 3 weeks in, I'm losing my mind. Get me off. I made a mistake. I need to be put in a hospital. I need restraints.
That first 3 weeks was a little tough, but then it becomes quite a bit easier.
Well, because you had to do the quarantine too, right?
Yeah, the quarantine wasn't bad though. When you think of what a balcony and 3 meals delivered to your door, and cigars and a phone and internet. I mean, really wasn't that hard, to be honest. Some guys had a problem with it. I was like, it's not that bad,
You know what was tough for some people?
Now. I say that
I know.
Now. Yeah.
We have some entertainer friends that were having an issue with it because they were on another line, and they did a 2 weeks of quarantine, and then they were out for a week, and then they were exposed to somebody who had COVID.
To do it again.
So they put them back in for 2 weeks. They both tested negative, never got it. They came out for 2 weeks, went back in for 2 more because the same thing happened. It's just like, so
that's tough.
Do that. That's 6 weeks.
I can't do that.
6 weeks out of 9 weeks, they're in quarantine. They were losing their shit. They said, we're getting off. They were packing their stuff. They said, get us off.
They were getting off?
They were getting off. They were getting off the ship. And I think they relaxed it on their last week. They did a soft quarantine for them. They were allowed to go outside on the decks, but they couldn't be near anybody. It was just overkill with the restrictions on them, and I felt horrible for them. But they did have one another for 4 of the weeks.
Ooh,
but two of the weeks they were separate. So it's like we can't even fuck.
Oh, that's too bad. I feel bad for those kids. You know, they can't fuck. That's too bad. I was in quarantine for 2 weeks and then on the ship for another 5 months solo.
Yeah, I know. So is your hand still talking to your penis? And that's it for this week's
Happy Thanksgiving.
Is it? Oh yeah. No, they're going to hear this after Thanksgiving. So I hope your holiday
was great.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Okay. Happy past Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you
Passover. Happy Passover. Is it Passover or Hanukkah?
Well,
Hanukkah starts, I think.
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah and
it's early
Passover
Hanukkah
coming
this
up.
year.
Coming up.
I heard some Jews talking about early Hanukkah this year. So I think it's early.
All right.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Go to patreon.com/the2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.